Well, when birds dine at your feeders, sometimes they make a little bit of a mess. Not only is it wasteful, but sometimes plants start to grow from the seeds that kind of spill down below.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's a lot of cleanup.
No.
Well, today we're focusing on how to keep things tidy, and hey, the birds won't even need an etiquette class.
No, they won't. We're going to get this straightened out. Marge Knudsen owns Wild Birds Unlimited. Good to see you, Marge.
Nice to see you again.
How's your summer been going?
Good morning.
Just real well, thank you.
Real well,
Good.
yeah. You've been busy?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we're talking about today are these messes. And there's a lot of options out there for people that have bird feeders, then they have seed, because it can be a mess. I remember when we got our bird feeder and we put it up on the side of the deck, and down below the deck, all the seed was down there. It was a huge mess. But there's things you can do.
There certainly are.
You want to start with this thing?
Yes,
Yeah,
that is a tube feeder that has a flange on it that puts it on top of the pole. And when you do that, and it's windy, it won't swing, and so seed doesn't fall out.
So what you're talking about right here, I'm going to just spin this up. Well, at the bottom of that picture, you can see there's a flange, and that flange slides right over a pole that is either put on your deck or put in the ground, or
should we try this?
somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the next slide.
Okay, yeah, tell us about this, and we'll see if that fits in here.
Right. And if you want to make it even cleaner, you can put a tray.
You can add the tray.
Oh,
Right. And this screws into the bottom of the tray the other way.
So you've got a screen here, so that catches all of that stuff.
This goes in there.
Yeah, well, actually,
Up to
screws
the
onto the
bottom.
bottom.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get it.
There you
We'll
go.
get it.
And it has a thumb screw,
through
so
the
you
bottom.
can put it at whatever height you want. And then once it's on the pole, you don't have to take, you can see in the picture, you don't have to take it off to clean
We're
it.
I know.
struggling.
We're trying to assemble this
trying to
on
do it.
set, but
That's all right.
so then back in the booth, they just go to the picture. Like, you guys can't figure this out. Let's just go to the
Yes,
picture,
yes.
because they've
There
got
we
it all
go.
figured out right there. So
Right.
that's the tray underneath.
That's the tray underneath.
Because they shouldn't be able to get it. I mean, you would think that they're not literally tossing it out further than this. This is a big
That's
grate
yeah,
here. I
they
like
catch
that.
a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
With small holes, so that'll
Right.
catch most
So
of
that
that
goes
there,
in
if
there,
not all.
and then something like this could slide.
There we go.
Yeah.
We figured it out.
See, just
so
like
good.
that.
Yeah,
We'll
and
get
once
it.
it's on the pole, the screens lift out to clean, so you don't have to take it off
yeah,
every
yeah.
time you need to clean it, and then you can just take those off, clean them, and hose off the rest, and you're set to go.
Oh yeah, you don't have to like scrub that much. Just,
Right.
Just hose up. That's very handy.
All ready to
And
go.
if you want to throw a few peanuts in there for your blue jays or some other food in there, they'll eat right out of the tray too.
That's the other thing, trying to figure out what to feed to get different birds to come. I mean, and you have all those updates on your blog, but what are the most common birds right now this time of year?
Goldfinches are now going to nest, so you'll see less and less of them, but we have cardinals and chickadees and nuthatches and blue jays and all kinds
Cardinals.
of
I
birds.
never get sick of cardinals. They're beautiful.
I like cardinals, yeah.
And I rarely see blue jays, but I did see one the other day. Hummingbird season. Is that coming
It's
up?
coming up real quickly.
Tell us about that. How can we prepare?
Okay. They're going to be migrating south. Usually within the next 2 weeks, we'll start seeing them in bigger numbers. So get your hummingbird feeders ready. Usually around the 10th of August, we're seeing them. So if you want to put it a week earlier than that, it's a good idea.
In front of you, there are some specialty foods you can feed, not just seeds, but
Right.
specialty foods that are kind of no mess in themselves. You got
They
a
are.
fruitcake, the suet
Yeah.
blocks are what we're talking about here.
There's suet. You just put them in a little cage.
Now,
and
what
they
is
feed 'em.
suet? Is
It's
this a
beef
thicker-
kidney fat that has seed or depending on nuts or fruit or whatever in it as well.
Oh, that's a great.
And
great
this is
price.
the no melt version, so it's the kind you feed when the weather's hot.
When it's real hot out there, so it won't make a mess.
And then when we get into winter, you go with the regular suet
Now
because
let's-
it doesn't freeze so hard.
Move on to this. We've
The
got
bark butter?
Birdaceous bark butter.
Right.
The
Tell
bark
us
butter,
what
it
that
just
is.
sounds good. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds like something I would eat.
It's kind
Bark
of like
butter.
peanut butter for birds, not as sticky as peanut butter for humans. You can either put it directly on the tree trunk, on the bark, or we've got feeders that you can put it in.
So you can spread that stuff
seen that.
anywhere, really.
That's right. And this kind of stuff, if it falls on the ground, it's not going to grow, and pretty much they eat it
Yeah.
all anyway, no shells or anything.
Now let's move on to this. This is the same. This
Well,
is
they co-
bark butter, but
they
in
come in
bark.
pellets?
Right.
Okay.
That's basically the same thing. You can put it actually in feeders directly or in trays.
In the
or
tray, okay.
Whatever, and every bird pretty much likes that. So, and it's a
Now-
good source of protein.
This looks good.
But the cylinders,
I would eat this. Look at this.
that does look, I mean, you could eat that, really,
You
couldn't
could.
you?
You
Yeah.
really could. There's what, sunflower, nut, fruit-eating birds
Right.
can have this. So tell us about these.
Well, these are no mess blend in cylinder form. We have no mess blend seeds in the loose seed that you put
Yeah.
in feeders, but these are cylinders, so another kind of tidy feeding. Don't have any spillage. Any of the no mess blends, though, if they fall on the ground, they're not going to grow. They're no shells, and
Yeah.
they're chopped up so they can't germinate.
The birds really got to pull these off those cylinders. So, you have a summer clearance sale in
We
August,
do.
right?
We
Can we
do.
get to that?
Starts today. I just set it up yesterday.
Oh, sorry, August 1st today?
That's
Yeah, it
right.
is. It's the first day of the new month.
And what kind of items?
We have everything from T-shirts to birdhouses to garden items, all kinds of things.
And
on
the
sale.
summer clearance sale is part of that today through August 31st.
Right.
40 to 75% off certain items. And these are items you're probably looking to
Right.
clear off the shelves, right?
Right.
for
We
the
have
season.
some mats and some garden flags and,
And
that
then
sort of thing.
a reminder of the no mess blends that we just discussed. Those are 10% off through the entire month of August,
They
correct?
They are.
Now, one more thing I want to touch on, and we've talked about this briefly before, but you're
Right.
planning for retirement.
I am.
Talk about the plans to sell the store and what you hope to get out of that.
Well, I'm planning to retire in 2018, and so I'd like the store to continue operating. It's a fun store for anyone who likes people, likes nature, likes birds, bird feeding. You get to talk about your hobby all day long, and it's just a fun opportunity.
We need a good caretaker for
Yes.
Wild Birds Unlimited to take this over when you retire.
That's
Because
right.
I'm sure you even want to come back after you retire and come back and visit all
Right.
the time.
Right, and shop. I mean, I
Yeah.
use our products, and I'd hate
You're-
to lose my access to those.
And like you said, it's not just birds. It's a gift store, and I've
There's
heard
a lot of
great
stuff,
things.
right,
So,
right.
yes,
Well, Marge,
best
thanks
of
for coming
luck.
in.
Thank
Glad
you
you've been
very
having a good
much.
summer. And don't forget about the big sale, the clearance sale, and the No Mess Blend sale this month, WBUomaha.com. Thanks,
All right,
Marge.
Thank you.
Well, it's time really to start thinking about